Hello and welcome to another episode of Reactor Toots. My name is Peter. It's been a long time. I've been super busy, and I apologize for those of you who have missed my Reactor Toots. I do plan on making more of them. It's just a matter of when I get some free time, and I'd like to look at some more delay modules that Reaktor has in stock. See, we have single delay, which we covered last tutorial. Multi-tap, which we won't get into, diffuser delay, which is more for reverbs, and then we have these grain delays right here. So let's start with, we'll just cover grain delay for now. Many of you who use Ableton will know that there is a grain delay effect, which will pretty much accomplish mostly the same things that you'd get with using that effect. I'm not going to go into the basics of granular synthesis because there are many different granular synthesis tutorials out there for all sorts of different programs, so I don't really want to cover what's already been said. So anyway, let's just set up the grain delay like we would set up a normal delay. You see we have an input for an audio signal and then a bunch of different parameters that we haven't seen before. So if we were to set this up like the regular delay line, we would use our add module, hook this up to the input because we'd want to combine the fedback signal with new audio. And then we need a multiply to adjust how much of a fedback signal we want. So we hook that up here. And then we create our control from 0 to 1. And let's label this feedback to not to avoid confusion. Right. Now the second parameter down is something that we've seen before. It's just delay time from 0 to the buffer length in milliseconds. I want to change the buffer length to 4,000, so maximum 4 seconds of a delay buffer. Let's change this to high quality interpolation. And let's also, excuse me, make a delay parameter. It gives us from 0 to 1,000. Let's change this to 4,000, put this somewhere up there. Alright, so let's hook this up and see what we get. I'm not going to explain anything because it's going to be super delayed and very confusing to listen to. Fun how they have an amplitude parameter right there. It's really helpful for experimenting. So let's go over the parameters one by one, starting with pitch. So if we mouse over it, we see polyphonic event input for logarithmic control of pitch shift and semitones. So that's how much pitch shifting will occur per grain. Delay we've already covered. GR, grainy, as it names itself, is the setting of the resynthesis granularity in milliseconds. That's pretty much talking about how big each grain is and how much distance there is between grains. Kind of a combination of both. In the grain cloud delay, we actually have control over both parameters, but in this one, for the sake of, I guess, CPU or simplicity, they've kind of combined it into its own mechanism. Pan is self-explanatory. I'm not going to do stereo grain delay that you could probably do on your own as a final stage construction, but yeah, let's experiment a little bit and see what this sounds like. I'm just going to say random words, maybe set the delay line to like 400. Hello. 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 So this is pretty cool. So that's pretty awesome. And you can tell that when I set the grainy to a higher value, the grains audibly become a little bit larger, less there's less of a stuttering effect that you get with very low numbers. So if I turn this all the way down to say 4.
Say 4.
Check 1 2.
Check 1 2.
Check 1 2.
Check 1 2.
Check.
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 The grains get so small. They get so small that instead of hearing a pitch shift, we hear a formant shift. There's not enough audio per grain for us to perceive an actual higher pitch. It's just a change in formant, if that makes any sense. So let's experiment with that. Check 1 2. Mess around with this. It's got a bunch of fun parameters. Or send me some instruments that you guys end up making. I'd be more than happy to check them out. So yeah, see you all later.